I believe that everyone, or almost everyone present, distracted by the music and the pleasant conversation, took a few minutes to notice that young woman who, having slipped out of the circle of women, had knelt behind Jesus. It was Mary. The younger sister, with her habitual silence, had opened a bottle about 30 centimeters high and tapered in shape. And under Jesus's pleased gaze, the adolescent poured a good part of the content over the master's hair. A cognac-colored liquid slowly and sweetly soaked the rabbi's chestnut hair, while a penetrating aroma filled the room. Mary closed the container and, after placing it between her legs, proceeded to spread the perfume through the Galilean's silky hair. That anointing was done with such simplicity and love that the giant's eyes misted over. She anointed the liquid along his ankles, heels, and toes, giving Jesus a long, gentle massage until the liquid was perfectly spread. At this point in the anointing, some of the guests had started whispering among themselves, lamenting the waste. Neither Mary nor Jesus was disturbed by those whispers. Without rushing, she wiped the master's feet with her own hair until they were dry and shiny. The comments, unfortunately, had turned sour. Judas, with manifest indignation, even went to Andrew, Peter's brother, asking him loudly enough for everyone to hear,
"Why wasn't this perfume sold and the money given to feed the poor? You must speak to the master so he reprimands this waste."
Mary, frightened by the turn of events, tried to stand up, but Jesus stopped her, and placing his left hand on the young woman's head, he addressed the attendees with a calm but firm voice.
"Leave her alone, all of you. Why do you bother her for this, if she has done what came from her heart? To you who murmur and say that this ointment should have been sold and the money given to the poor, let me tell you that you will always have the poor with you, so that you may attend to them whenever you see fit. But you will not always have me. Soon I go to my Father."
Then, focusing that gaze on Judas Iscariot's eyes, he intensified his tone with a much more energetic timbre.
"This woman has saved this ointment for a long time, and now that she has seen fit to do this anointing in anticipation of my death, she must not be denied such satisfaction. By doing this, Mary has reproved you all, inasmuch as this act evidences faith in what I have said about my death and ascension to my Father in heaven. This woman must not be condemned for what she has done tonight. Rather, I tell you that in times to come, wherever this gospel is preached throughout the whole world, what she has done will be spoken of in memory of her."
The murmurs decreased, but some of the apostles continued to discuss the event. Shaking their heads in disagreement with the rabbi, Judas Iscariot had fallen into an impenetrable silence. His eyes scared me. They distilled a dull, contained hatred. The Sunday vigil was approaching when some of the Pharisees who had remained in prudent silence addressed Jesus. Ignoring the valuable nature of the perfume, they scolded him for having consented to that woman, violating the sacred laws of the Sabbath rest. If she infringed this code, she was obliged to pay and offer a sacrifice in compensation for her sin. Jesus watched the priests with amusement.
Tell me, where do you come from?
From Jerusalem.
And how is it possible that you condemn a woman who has walked less than a stadium when you have traveled more than 15?
The Pharisees shifted uneasily, but Jesus was not willing to give them any quarter.
Woe to you, Pharisees! You are like a dog lying in the oxen's manger. He neither eats nor lets the oxen eat.
Who are you to teach us where the truth lies?
Why did you go out into the countryside to see a reed shaken by the wind, to see a man in delicate clothes? Your kings and great figures, you yourselves cover yourselves in silk and purple, but I tell you that they cannot know the truth.
24 prophets have spoken in Israel, and we follow their example.
The guests turned their faces toward Jesus, but the Galilean remained imperturbable. His command of the situation had set the Pharisees on edge.
You speak of those who are dead, and you are rejecting the one who lives among you?
Tell us who you are so that we may believe in you.
You scrutinize the face of heaven and earth, and yet you have not known him who is among you?
The Pharisees chose to stand up. Amidst expressive displays of indignation, they washed their hands in basins. But Jesus had not finished, and before they could leave the room, he snapped at them.
Woe to you, Pharisees! You wash the outside of the cup without understanding that he who made the outside also made the inside.
When the guests were saying goodbye to Simon, Peter approached his master and, with a conciliatory air, proposed that Mary be removed from the group. Since women, he commented, are not worthy of life. The Nazarene must have been as perplexed as I was, and in the same tone, he replied to the impulsive disciple,
I will guide her to make her male, so that she too may become a living spirit resembling you men. For every woman who makes herself male will enter the kingdom of heaven.